is hooked in right into the water discharge valve. We can either use this as a discharge out of the pump. We could switch it over and put a different adapter on here and actually use it as a like a water thief, or we can use it to feed the waterway. The reason we do that is if for some reason this truck would be the first truck in and attack guys would take the lines and go to do the fire, we don't have enough water power out of the pump to do your attack crews in the ladder, so then you can have your other truck hook up to the back here and flow your ladder. We got a drain here, like I was talking about earlier. So we just want to make sure that that's always open, except if we're going to be operating the ladder. We got a gauge here, so that way if we are pushing in, they've kind of got an idea what they're going to be pushing. But back here we got all of our other ladders. They're all marked. They did a nice job at that when they had it in Fort Worth, you know, keeping everything labeled. We got our platform stuff, so that's, I don't know if we all want to crawl up there, there's not that many of us. And a roof ladder and a pike pole already in the fly section. So if you need a ladder to get, you know, once you're already up, you go on a structure, you already got one up there, you don't need to mess around with it. We got 2 sets of air bottles.
I got that.
We got 2 sets of air bottles. When they were up here training us, you open 1 bottle at a time, because that way you kind of can regulate how much air you know, how long you got for time, because when 1 bottle goes empty, you can open the other bottle and use that one. The mass, the regulators for the mass are in the truck in I believe it's a little plastic black box, and they plug in right here. We got a plug here, and there's 2 plugs in the basket, so you can have 3 guys always plugged in. This truck's got a David Clark system in it, which is a headset. All you do is plug it in here. Took a little time to figure out how to use these. They want to go on your head just like this with this strap to the back of your head. Otherwise they'll fall off. You know, this way does not work. You gotta go this way. There's a button here. On and off for the mic. You can always hear, but this button controls the mic. So, if you're gonna make fun of somebody, make sure the mic's shut off.
Well, that doesn't broadcast on the radio, that just broadcasts on the ladder.
No. At this station right here, there's a button called PTT. If you will hear Becker County Fire over this radio. If 681 calls for ladder 1, you push the button, you can talk to him over the fire radio. If the button is not pushed, and it's only internal truck. It will not leave the truck. But when you push the button, then it goes over the fire radio.
Well, you can hear the fire radio.
You can always hear the fire radio. Okay. So you'll hear both sets of if 3 of us are talking and somebody calls for that, if I don't recall we did it in Ogama, it'll actually interrupt our conversation and that'll take precedence, and so you'll hear that, and then it'll, you know. We got an emergency stop switch. All this does is it kills their power. The guys in the basket, if they're running the basket and you are standing here and watching that they're doing something that they're going to get hurt or they're going to hit a building with the ladder, shut them off. Quick and simple. We can operate the nozzle from down here. The only problem we're having with this nozzle is if we drop it too far down, it sticks and the motor won't pull it up, and then we got to take Allen wrenches and break it loose. There's a rung alignment light. They recommend that in order for climbing, we want the light on, so that makes it easier, so all the rungs are aligned. Here's the override switch like I was talking about. If we are short jacked, you need to hold that in order to run this. We have a fast idle switch, and then we have the deals to do operate the ladder. This truck is nice compared to the other one. We got a platform leveling system in it. Got a toggle switch here for up and down for stowing it. The truck's at a little bit of an angle. When you pull up on a scene, and we're going to pull the ladder, first thing we're going to do is pull this up, because that'll level the basket with the world. Make the basket level no matter how crooked the truck is. And then when you go up, it'll keep the basket level. When you come back down, it'll keep the basket level. But when you go to stow the ladder, you want to push that down, and then you want to level the ladder, quick and simple, up or down. And you can actually just watch it just A lot better than the old Allen wrench underneath the compartment. In order to operate this, you've got to have the switch down from here. If they are operating it, you do not need to hold that. If the guys in the basket are operating it. Any questions?
Do you hear the counting radio up in the basket too?
Yes, I believe they could, but I don't think they could talk to them. So we got our, here's what I was talking about, our mark here. This mark, when it lines up with these increments, it tells you how high you are up on the ladder. The ladder is a 93-foot ladder, 7 feet off the ground. So at 50, we're actually at 57 feet. That's how they determine that. These lights are actually supposed to be turned up, but for the funeral they've been left that way. Guess we could all climb up there, and that's gonna take a moment.
Oh, cocksucker!
He whacked it. I know only tall guys did stupid shit like that.
Feels good.
How many points is there?
There's that greaser. Okay, we'll let everybody get here. Not a lot better than crawling in here.
There, now it's
Climbing over or climbing under was not good.
We got one grease zerk right there. Plug here. So you can hear, but you can't talk. This one here, you can hear and you can talk. So it's something in the wiring. I mean, if you wiggle it around, you get it in the right spot. And I believe it's in here because we've switched the headsets and they both work on that one. So pretty much it for up here. This here's our shower curtain. Pull that up.
That's down right now, right?
Let's shut off. There's a little red, it's hard to see right now without the power on, but when the lights are on you can see it. There's a little red like a thermostat in there, you know, like a thermometer. And when it gets up, that's where your temperature's at. So when it gets up to 60, that's where you can see it at. There's another one up on top there.